Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B ward, this is the Post-Mortem Show. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD. And today, we're getting sexy around here.
Sexy time!
It's sexy time today on the Post-Mortem Show, because we're going to give you our top 5 sexiest horror movie characters.
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, girl, let me know.
So, this list is we're actually gonna shoot from the hip with the actual sexy characters.
Yeah.
You know, you might expect if you're a regular and you listen to the show all the time, then you know
we go dark places.
We might be going dark, funny places, but no, because we're making this our first ever 2-part top 5.
That's right.
We're gonna have our top 5 sexiest characters today, and then when we come back next week, we're bringing you the top 5 awkward boners.
Boing, boing, boing.
The sexy parts of movies that shouldn't be. Or maybe it might be a little taboo. Maybe some people might think it doesn't, but...
Little bit of guilty arousal.
If it tickles my fancy, you'll know about it.
Every single person on my list is going to be Glenn Close.
Wow. Number 5, Doug Jones. Number 4, Doug Jones. All right. Well, before we get into our top 5 sexiest characters and at the movies, we got a little bit of horror news. Horror news. So, before we get to the actual horror news that everyone's going to care about, I'm going to tell you the most terrifying experience of my life occurred 2 days ago.
Oh, really?
We went camping at Lake Lopez here in Central California. It was hot as balls. Quite the experience.
Yeah, it was fucking disgusting this weekend. It was like 110.
So here are the notable things that happened to me this weekend during our camping trip, which I don't regret going still, even with all this, because I'll tell you why after. So, first off, swimming in the lake, lost my wedding ring.
That sucks.
Oh, no, that's second off. First off, we get there, we unpack, and Lake Lopez begins to burn to the ground, and they tell us we need to evacuate.
What?
Yeah. The hill was burning down. Fire, it's all smoky and everything like that. They're like, evacuate, get out now, the Rangers and stuff like that. Right, as soon as we got set up with the tent trailer, it takes like an hour to set everything up. And, yeah, get out now.
So you had to take everything down?
No.
No?
I didn't. I told her, hey, I don't want to repack this shit. If we go, we're going for real. So let's just sit here, and if it really is that bad that we're going to die, we'll just drive off and let the shit burn. Because I don't want to pack it up and then unpack it.
Fair enough.
And do all that. Like, I don't think we're going to have to.
Yeah.
Guy across from our campsite said he was a firefighter and that this stuff happens all the time. Anyways, that's not the terrifying story. Not the near death by fire. No. So, again, lost the wedding ring in the lake. Also, stepped on 2 different old fish hooks in the lake.
Oh, that's the thing about Lopez. There's always old fish hooks.
Yeah, stuck in my foot.
Got them stuck in my hands.
Yeah.
My ball sack.
Yep. Yeah, I got a couple in the balls as well, but that was just... I wanted to do that, but not the feet.
After the kids went to bed.
So, speaking of after the kids went to bed, so now that all that shit's out of the way, we're going to go to the bones of the story. So, I'm sleeping. Me and Addison are up about an hour and a half after everyone goes to bed. It's about 1:30. Finally, Addison, the sole survivor, watched Army of Darkness on the projector and stuff. Nice. It was awesome. So, finally she goes to bed. I'm up for about half an hour. I'm sitting there by the campfire drinking beers by myself. You know, everyone else is asleep. You know, all the kids are asleep. Aubrey's asleep in the tent. The kids are in the trailer. I'm like, I'm falling asleep. I kind of fell asleep for a little bit in the chair. I'm like, I might just sleep out here tonight. It's nice under the stars. It's hot. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah. No, I'm like, she might get scared if she wakes up. So then I go into the tent, fall asleep. I'm awoken by rustling. I hear the crinkle of wrappers and stuff, and I see a little bit of movement on my picnic table. So I begin to go, hey, go away, go, and start clapping my hands.
Like it's raccoons or something?
Because I thought it was raccoons, yeah. So the raccoons, small eyes, pretty close together.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 raccoons. No, it wasn't. I get out and charge it at the table. But as I get closer, it's completely pitch dark. The fire's out. Everyone else is sleeping on all the sites. It's sold out, but everyone's sleeping. Completely pitch dark. I can't see something, but I just know it's just darkness. I'm just looking at darkness. I can't even see the other campers, so I'm like, what the fuck? What's this silhouette? I go back, kind of I kind of stop moving towards it fast and kind of slowly back up. Go get the keys to the truck, flip the truck around because we had backed in, hit the headlights. The biggest fucking animal I've ever seen in my life, over 500-pound black bear.
Jesus Christ.
The dad of all the bears that's there.
Yeah.
He has spotted, mangy-ish fur and scars like he's been through some battles and shit.
He's like a zombie dire
He
bear.
looks like a fucking zombie bear, seriously. He's all mottled and stuff, and he's just looking at me. I was from me to you almost. From me to the edge over there.
It's like 4 feet maybe.
About 4 feet from it as I was charging it when I was saying go, 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 right? So I see it, I start flashing the fucking headlights at it. It doesn't really care. It's opening and closing the cooler and basically sitting down off the park bench
Flipping you off.
having a fancy dinner, It ended up consuming 11 eggs, 2 packets of soy riso, 6 Hershey's chocolate bars, about 15 slices of American cheese with the wrapper. He opened the wrapper of the chocolates and took them out and dropped the wrapper like a human.
Wow.
But the cheese he ate with the wrapper because it's like that kind you gotta peel it back and stuff. So then I roll my window down. I actually never shut my door, and I start screaming and honking the horn because you're always supposed to make a bunch of noise with the bears there, And it kind of slowly walks away, and then it dawns on me okay, I'm here at the truck. In between me and the bear is the fire pit and the tent trailer where all 4 kids were sleeping, and I'm honking the horn right where they're sleeping,
Screaming.
screaming, and it's. If they open the door, they're closer to the bear than I was. So then I go, oh, fuck. And I go into this total fight or flight, human... I probably the most intense I've ever felt about anything, in my life. I was that much rattled and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I got to do what I got to do. I got to protect my kids. So I pick up a fucking hammer. I pick up Addison's razor scooter. And I grab this razor scooter by the handle and, the part with the wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
I start flinging it around like a fucking nunchuck. And screaming with the hammer. And I'm drunk, too.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it like a fucking ninja. The bear's just looking at me like, what the fuck? It kind of took some steps back at that point with the horn. And I fucking have the hammer. I have the scooter nunchuck. And I charge at it full speed screaming. The 500-pound black bear.
You survived death matches with BC Killer and Masada, but it's a bear that finally takes you down.
And I run full speed at it, and it's kind of still, as I'm running towards it, it's kind of like walking away from it, like it's working. And then it stops dead in its tracks and turns and faces me.
Picks up a scooter of its own.
I'm getting goosebumps right now just telling you. We're going to get to horror news in a second, but I got to get this out of my system. I got to decompress here, and that's what the show's all about, right? Decompressing.
Right, that's right.
And so I charge it, it stops. I stop. And I still stand there. I'm teeth bared, I'm a fucking animal too at this point, right? We are animals in our basic nature. So I have the hammer, I have the fucking scooter, I'm swinging that shit around, and it's looking at me, and and also, by the way, I hit the shit out of my leg and my shoulder with that scooter.
I was gonna say,
I'm beating the shit out of myself with it, trying to swing it like a fucking nunchuck, like an idiot.
You're naked too, right?
No, I wasn't naked at the time. I did have a boner. Speaking of awkward boners,
okay,
I was full mast,
right?
But because it's a thrill of combat, it's a perfectly natural reaction to the thrill of combat.
Yeah, absolutely,
to get a raging boner when you're charging full speed at a 500-pound bear.
It protects your ball sack.
So the bear looks at me. I'm looking at the bear. We make eye contact, and we have the fucking old-fashioned Mexican standoff, staring each other down for over a full minute. It felt like forever because of the situation, but it was at least a minute because my wife was up watching all this shit too. Because she woke up as I was telling them, go, 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 thinking it's raccoons, and saw all the shit happen when I hit the lights and the bear was right there.
Yeah.
She was peeking out through the little tent mesh. So she was freaking out too, you know, but not, I told her to be quiet. So, Mexican standoff, the bear goes into the night. I fucking win.
Wow.
A Mexican standoff with a 500-pound bear.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, it was fucking super fucking intense, dude. And goes down and starts fucking with some other people's shit.
Right.
They hit their lights and start to come out, but I go, bear, 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 don't come out, it's a bear, bear. The lights just go off. And then I'm just like, at that point, it was down there, like, it could have came back, you know, but I figured it wouldn't. But I'm so worn out that I just go collapse in the fucking tent, you know, like, emotionally worn out.
Right.
And I probably only slept an hour that night because I was constantly like, what was that noise?
Yeah.
Bear, you know, like,
bear,
yeah,
bear.
just freaking out. But, man,
wow.
super fucking intense experience.
Wow. Probably earned that bear's respect.
I was the closest in my life I think I've came to death. Like, I've been in car accidents. I've done all these death matches where I'm almost bleeding out and all this stuff like that. That was the closest to death I've ever came, I think.
Wow.
So we almost finished up with 80 episodes. It could have been the last.
Yeah.
Last episode could have been our last one. So, but no, I'm here. I survived.
Yeah.
The bear's gone. I'm back into civilization.
The bear's probably on his podcast talking about you
yeah,
right
he's
now.
like, this motherfucker. This is my house. I live here. He comes in, he starts swinging scooters at me like nunchucks.
Hey, boo-boo.
So nobody steals my picnic basket.
That's
Gets
right.
away with it. I was so mad he ate the green onion dip my wife made.
Oh.
I only had like 2 chips worth, and he ate it. The next night, I kept on talking to him. I wanted him to come back.
Yeah, cut him open and eat the onion dip out of his guts.
Now, I said that I was going to steal one of his cubs and train it. Like, I'll be its bear stepdad and teach it to hate its father.
Yeah.
And then teach it to go into the woods like some kind of little bear assassin.
Like a bear
With one of
Manchurian
those-
candidate.
It's going to be with one of those little spinny hats on a tiny little bicycle, chasing its dad down with the same scooter. So that's it. That's it for my first piece of horror news. It was real life horror news, but now we'll get back to the horror movie show that we do. The horror movie / awkward boner show we do. So if you're a new listener, don't be scared away by my bear story. This is not a bear podcast.
Ursine erections.
We talk a lot. Ursine erections. There we are. That's our rating system this week.
All right. Well, I do not have that kind of news. There were no bears involved in my weekend. Well, there were, but they were the kind that wore leather.
You had a different kind of bear. That's speaking of awkward boners.
Speaking of boo-boos.
That's all right. That's the fucking. If you guys don't, if you just listen on iTunes and you never see our graphics, go to thepostmortemshow.com and I will somehow try to put a real black bear in the leather daddy costume.
I'm sure it's out there somewhere. You can just Google it. So, despite lukewarm reception to the second season, HBO is bringing back its crime drama True Detective for a third season after a 2-year hiatus.
All right, hell yeah.
Yeah, I liked the second season of True Detective.
Me too.
I think that it just kind of, it got a bad rap because they did something different.
It completely, it wasn't a continuation of the story.
Yeah.
It's just each season will be its own thing.
Right.
I like it because you know what? Those characters from the first season will never be ruined.
Right.
By doing the Walking Dead treatment and having way too many seasons. You got to move on.
Yeah.
It gets to be so unrealistic that, and Sons of Anarchy, when they finally ended, I was like, good.
Yeah.
Even though I liked it. Breaking Bad, he would have been killed so many times.
Yeah. Or, at some point they can bring them back if, this all exists in the same world.
Yeah.
And they can do crossover. But to have seasons away from those characters means you appreciate them more if you see them again.
And it's just such a good slow burn, especially that first season. Episode 4 of the first season is probably my favorite TV episode ever.
Absolutely. And in both seasons, they took characters that didn't commonly play the kind of roles they were playing and stuck them in something different. Like Vince Vaughn, you don't really think of him as someone who's menacing, but he was menacing as fuck in that second season.
Yeah.
And I didn't even recognize Matthew McConaughey for the first season because I don't really pay attention to the credits.
Good. I usually hate the old young bounce back.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story, kid. This is what happened,
Yeah.
and it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
But those interviews and stuff, and there's them. He probably died of lung cancer after that.
Yeah,
That's
for
probably
real.
why they couldn't get a second. The cigarettes that man was smoking. Wow.
Yeah. So this season will be returning to the better received form of the first season. It's going to follow a macabre crime set in the heart of the Ozarks and a mystery that takes place over 3 time periods. So they're going to do the back and forth on it. Series creator Nick Pizzolatto will be teaming up with Jeremy Saulnier, the writer and director of Green Room.
Jeremy Saulnier.
Yeah.
So fucking good. It couldn't get any better.
Yeah, it can get better. Because they're bringing Mahershala Ali, who was the bad guy in Luke Cage.
I've never seen Luke Cage.
To play the lead detective. He took a shallow-ass blaxploitation character and added so much fucking pathos and depth to that character that, like, he made the first half of that season. The first half of Luke Cage's first season was not about Luke Cage. It was about his character. He was so fucking badass.
You know, in True Detective, too, I know we said we're going to get straight to the horror news. If you don't think True Detective is horror, like the first season is straight up horror.
It's Lovecraft horror.
Yeah, and the second season is more of an exploitation kind of roots, gritty exploitation kind of. But the first season, that's some horror shit.
Yeah. And apparently there was an occult subplot written for the first season that they scrapped. So hopefully they're going to be bringing some of that back too, because if some shit takes place in the Ozarks, some weird shit's going to happen there.
Yeah, and all those bones and shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to it. I love True Detective, and it's been so long since the second season.
Yeah, 2 years.
You know? Yeah, can't fucking wait for that. Something I could wait forever for. Excitement over the upcoming Jeepers Creepers 3 has been tempered by the deplorable past of writer and director Victor Salva. Issue has divided horror fans. While some feel Salva served his time and deserves a chance to continue his life, others believe his crimes are unforgivable, and paying to see his films is dismissal of the devastation caused by childhood sexual abuse. So, Salva's victim-turned-survivor, Nathan Forrest Winters, played Casey in Clown House, which Salva wrote and directed in 1989. Winters was only 10 years old when his abuse was finally discovered, and he recently released a message, one that addresses his feelings about being a survivor, and he's doing like these speaking engagements, talking about it and stuff like that. He's taking it in a good direction. Mm-hmm. He's getting the best revenge of telling people that this is out there and stuff like that. Right. Of course, it would be much better if he could just shoot Victor Salva in the fucking head.
Right in the testicles.
Right in the testicles. Chemical castration, whatever. When it comes to abusive kids and stuff like that, I have no fucking limits of the amount of torture that man
chemical castration doesn't really work for rapists because what they're doing isn't necessarily sexual. It's about control. Yeah. So they would still find ways to fuck over kids. So you can chemically castrate them. That sucks. You know, I don't personally believe in the death penalty, but I believe that pedophiles should be locked away on an island where they could fuck each other to death.
I believe that the parents or the victim should just be able to kill them. You know, like I don't advocate like the death penalty and stuff like that, except for pedophilia. It's like if there's evidence, like pictures, things like that. So this really happened. You know that it happened. Yeah, it's not just someone accusing someone, something like that. I have no sympathy. Yeah. There's no rehabilitation for that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't believe it. And so
they're just an aberration.
Yeah, and so this kid that survived this, he wrote a message. He describing his whole feelings. I'll kind of give you a couple of the highlights of it, but he says, "Hello, this is Nathan Forrest Winters. You may know me for my role as Casey in the 1987 film Clown House. I am a sexual abuse survivor. For 6 years of my childhood, I was molested by writer-director Victor Salva, who I starred in 2 films by. He's best known for the Jeepers Creepers franchise and Powder. Do you know he made Powder?
Yep.
But that Pell dude? I cried in the movie theater when I saw it. Yeah. As a little kid." Towards the end of 87, he was arrested on 11 counts of sexual abuse on me and others, convicted of 4 or of the less severe. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison, for which he served a mere 18 months in a rehabilitation facility in Napa Valley, California.
He got a vacation.
3-year sentence, 18 months served for crimes that took him 6 years to commit. I'm currently outlining a nationwide speaking tour at various key and pertinent venues to raise awareness, educate, and provide information on tools to stop childhood sexual abuse on all levels. He then went on to say that he told all about being a victim. You know, I don't want to read this whole, it's very long, so I just want to give you a couple excerpts. He's saying every 8 minutes a victim is a child. Every 98 seconds an American is sexually assaulted. Meanwhile, only 6 out of every 1,000 perpetrators is convicted. 6 out of 1,000. Yeah. So we know this man do this. I say don't judge the artist, judge the art when it comes to H.P. Lovecraft, because I fucking hate racism and stuff like that. Yeah. And being in the 1900s, he's an entitled little rich fuck that kind of was like a little bit racist, that kind of stuff. And I'm not cool with that at all. But that's a difference between, and he never did any violent acts or anything like that, so I can kind of judge the art. But when it comes to this motherfucker, I'm feeding him to the bear.
Yeah.
Victor Salva,
take the Ursine erection.
Ursine erection, that's your punishment. I'm sentencing you to death by Ursine erection. That same bear, I'm going to lather you up in honey, I'm going to hold you down and be like, hey, bear,
here's some Viagra.
I'm sorry for running at you and yelling. Here's my gift to you. But I'm still mad about the green onion dip.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the first 2 Jeepers Creepers movies before I knew about Victor
Me
Salva.
too. I didn't know that's until 3 was coming out.
And I enjoyed the first one.
That's the thing, though, dude. What the fuck? How could that get swept under the rug? Like, Jeepers
Hollywood,
Creepers
man.
was a mainstream Hollywood movie, and I never even heard that.
Yeah. Hollywood, you know, they do it for money. They don't care. I mean, how many other directors are probably pedophiles?
Yeah.
You know, I didn't like the second Jeepers Creepers. I did like the first one. I will not be seeing the third one. I won't even torrent it. You know, I don't spend money on that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck Victor Salva.
Ursine erection to death.
Yeah. Right in the.
So let's get out of this pit of darkness that my
I've got
horror
some
news
good
has been
news
so far.
I've
All
got
right,
some
let's get
good
back.
news.
You're bringing light to the subject.
I am. I've got 2 pieces of Stephen King news.
Okay.
It's a King-O-Rama. So my first one, it hits theaters this week. I'm excited.
I will be there opening night.
Critics are
Are you
praising.
gonna come down and watch it here in the big theater, or are you gonna watch it up there?
Opening night is Friday. It opens Friday, right?
Yeah, the 8th. Today we're recording this on the 4th. It's gonna drop. You guys are here on the 6th. Friday is the 8th. Yeah.
Yeah. Michelle and I'll come down and watch it. This is a better theater anyway.
Yeah, it is a lot.
So yeah.
It's newer. But me and Aubrey are going dinner and a movie, drinks.
Cool. Yeah, it comes out this week. Critics are already praising the hell out of the advanced screenings. Stephen King himself has even endorsed the movie, saying he was not prepared for how good it actually was. Even Tim Curry has broken his silence about the film, saying, I hope they make the ending better, because on the TV version it turned out to be some kind of giant spider that was not very scary. He went on to say, I like Bill Skarsgård very much. I think he's very clever. It will be interesting to see what sort of clown face he puts on, because it's not an obvious clown face at all. I've seen the trailer and you can't really see him, so I'm fascinated to see it. He is very good. A lot of fans are going to judge this movie and be ready to pick apart Skarsgård's performance and compare it to Tim Curry's. But Curry's very classy endorsement should hopefully encourage fans to look at Skarsgård's performance as its own entity and not judge the movie through their nostalgia-tinted glasses.
So this is a great piece of horror news. I'm just disappointed that you didn't read that in a Tim Curry voice.
I like Bill Skarsgård very much. I think he's very clever.
I'll give you like a C-.
Rocky! Oh, Rocky!
All right, that's more like All right. What's the other... Or are you going straight into the other Stephen King, or you going
do your thing.
Okay, so... Our last episode, we gave you our top 5 horror movie quotes. But that's not all we gave you. We gave you the mental image of Dom in an Elvira Femskin.
That's right.
Femskins being... What's the name of that fucking documentary? Men in Rubber Masks on Netflix.
Yep.
About these guys who dress up to become living dolls.
In these
female
full-body
living dolls.
latex costumes.
Very disturbing.
Yeah.
Made my top 5 disturbing documentaries.
Yep. Femskin and CPAP sex.
Yep, we were talking about Dom's Femskin. Dom may now get the chance to actually purchase and own an Elvira Femskin. Cassandra Peterson, a.k.a. Elvira, and pinup girl CEO and creatix Laura Burns have combined their talents and love of cleavage-flaunting fashion to bring you all your clothing collection that's an answer to all your vamp needs. You can embrace your inner mistress of the dark, Dom.
Yeah, I've got
The
some.
height of Elvira's popularity may have been in the 80s, but what's remarkable about her, she's remained ever-present iconic figure in horror world. No matter the decade, everyone knows who she is. She was just in the fucking Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Call of Duty. Why are you still in my Elvira? Why can't you put it in Doom? She should have been in Doom.
She should have. That's where she
I want,
belongs.
you know what I want her to be? NHL 18. Playable character Elvira. Or
Playing hockey.
Yeah, I guess, but that jersey leaves nothing to the imagination.
Right.
So she's making a clothing line now with curvy dresses that will embrace any kind of woman's curves, like gothic.
I'm pretty curvy.
Dresses. You're pretty curvy. I'm just saying she might dip her toes into the femskin eventually. At least she can get the
There's
dress
a
for now.
chance. She's close.
Then you can get the femskin later.
Yeah.
Or you can get the dress and
Get the
the
femskins
wig
customized.
and the
yeah.
femskin. Yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
And then
Or I
you
could
can
just
get
start
fucked by a bear.
I should start kidnapping hookers off the street and just make my own Elvira Femskin out of actual skin.
A little bit of Buffalo Bill.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. So, more Stephen King news. According to Zerner Law, Stephen King has recently filed notices that he intends to terminate the transfer of his movie licenses to The Dead Zone, Cujo, Creepshow, Children of the Corn, Cat's Eye, and Firestarter. The notices are effective September 1st, 2018. What this means is that King will regain the rights to these stories. The current rights holders will be able to continue to distribute their films, but will not be allowed to milk the franchises with increasingly crappy sequels and spin-offs. And King will have the rights to sell the films to new filmmakers or produce his own films, which could show an uptick in quality given the success of It.
Yeah, I bet so. I bet the budget's going to be a lot more than some of those movies. And I would love a new Creepshow. Creepshow 3 was bullshit.
It's terrible.
Creepshow 2 is great. Creepshow 3 is not Creepshow 3. It's tacked on. It's fucking horrible, you know? But I need another Creepshow. I love anthology horror, and if they could do it, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be great if he could work some of that stuff out with, especially with the new directors out there, Mike Flanagan,
Mike Flanagan would be perfect.
And he's making Gerald's Game, so like there's already a connection there. If he's getting the rights to those back, because that's the problem with, they turned out all these Stephen King movies in the 80s and the early 90s, and they were all shit because a lot of them deviated from the stories, but also because there wasn't the special effects at the time to make those movies, and there wasn't a market in movie theaters for them, so they were all made for TV, which means they all had to be edited all to fuck.
And then Mike Flanagan just beats the shit out of Mick Garris and says, you know what, I'm making Stephen King shit now.
That's right.
You little long-haired pussy. You got your long gray hair. Looks some kind of skinny witch. Mick Garris looks like the fucking gypsy lady that gets hit by the car and thinner.
I think
that's why he wants to make Stephen King movies.
I think Mick Garris and Julia Roberts are the same person.
Fuck you, Mick Garris, stealing our name. I don't care if you made a TV show called Postmortem years and years ago. When you come to the podcast world, we're the real Postmortem.
Right. You're in our yard.
You're in our yard now.
Garris. Greenie.
You little bitch. All right. So, we're going to get back to some horror movie shit with...
Which is funny because, like, if Mick Garris, showed up one day, we'd be like, oh, hi, Mr. Garris. Nice to meet you.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, you need to share our shit, fucker.
Yeah.
You need to share
as the real Postmortem
shit and bow down to us. Bend a knee like Game of Thrones. You will bend the knee,
Bend the
Garris.
knee, Garris. Mother of drag queens.
That's what you're going to call yourself after you have your Elvira film skin?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we will be back with At the Movies after this.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Postmortem Podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner, Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Postmortem Podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money. We get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
Let's go down to the movies with Dom and JD, Blood, Boobies, and Doug Jones. Psychos, monsters, bloody slashes, maniacs, and tits and asses, chainsaws, knives, and facial bashes on Postmortem. Let's go down to the movies with Dom and JD for some more Doug Jones. No, Doug Jones.
Okay, we're back. No good movie, bad movie this week. No nostalgia killers.
Nope, you know what that excellent song heralds.
Yes, Dom and JD at the movie.
It is the harbinger, a harbinger of at the movies.
All right. I just want to say I'm happy to be back amongst civilization. I loved camping. It was really fun. We went to the water slides, all that stuff. But today I watched a movie. Not this one. I watched the other one we're going to talk about. Yeah. And I was sitting here I'm like, you know what? I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I keep talking about this even though I said I'm not going to anymore. It's just still fresh in my mind. I almost fucking...
I charged a bear. You charge a bear and survive.
With a fucking nunchuck.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking ninja.
That's right.
I'm a lake ninja. Yeah. So, at the movies, we saw two movies. The first being newly released 2017 post-apocalyptic slow burn, Written and directed by Trey Edward Schultz, It Comes at Night.
Yep.
A slow burn would be an understatement.
Yeah.
Starring Joel Edgerton, who's been in a bunch of shit, and he's really good.
Yeah.
I want to see some more Joel Edgerton.
He reminds me of Kurt Russell.
He does. He has like a good range on him, and he's just got. I think it's like in the eyes, like for his acting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's very, he. It seems like it's just he's a guy being recorded doing stuff instead of he's acting. You know what I mean? He's so natural. So, Christopher Abbott and Carmen Egojo, Ejogo. I don't know. It Comes at Night.
Lego my ego.
Lego my Egojo. So, secure within a desolate home as an unnatural threat terrorizes the world, the tenuous domestic order he has established with his wife and son is put to the ultimate test with the arrival of a desperate young family seeking refuge. Despite the best intentions of both families, paranoia and mistrust boil over as the horrors outside creep ever closer, awakening something hidden and monstrous within him, as he learns that the protection of his family at the cost of his soul.
Yeah.
So, we're going to do a little review on this, but I'm going to say spoiler alert at one point and give you like 30 minutes or 30 seconds to pause your phone if you're listening to this podcast when you're driving or anything like that, if you do want to see this after we talk about it, because we do have to kind of talk about the ending and the title and everything like that. Yeah. But I don't want to spoil it for people. So, after we talk about how it was made, we're going to kind of do a little spoiler edition.
Spoiler.
Yeah, we have to for this one. So Dom, give me some thoughts on this movie.
This movie was fucking slow. Fucking slow. I actually thought about turning it off a couple times. The acting was good. Every single actor was good. They played their roles well. Everything felt natural. The filming was good. It looked, it had a very good look to it. They set done. Everything is well done. That's the thing. Yeah.
I don't want to just shit on this movie because it's very well made.
It wasn't a bad movie.
The dialogue is good.
Yeah, it feels
the characters
natural.
are likable.
Yeah.
You care if people. You care about every character whether they live or die.
Yeah.
It's more of a gray area thing because there's not good guys and bad guys,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of refreshing. It's just not just good guy, bad guy, good guy, bad guy. It's
There's
everyone.
paranoia, but it might be warranted paranoia.
It's basically, I care about you and I want good things for you, but when it comes to my family, I want good things for my family, so fuck you.
Yeah, all that stuff made sense. It just took so fucking long to get there.
It's the story of a man and a bear.
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't hurt the bear, but bear comes. I'm talking about the bear again. It opens up with a sad family, all wearing gas masks, wheeling an old man outside in a wheelbarrow. He's obviously sick, and they regret putting him out of his misery. I felt
bad for the old man because he looked a lot like one of the residents where I worked that I really like.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
I kind of felt bad for him too because he's like, it's like, what's that fucking book about the dog you have to read?
Old Yeller?
Old Yeller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. You got to put him down. We don't want to, but
yeah.
So later that night, someone comes to rapping at their chamber door. It's a man alone, presumably looking for shelter, but the dad swiftly and brutally kicks his ass and ties him to a tree outside.
Yeah.
I like that part a lot.
That was good.
That was like almost, we were talking about him earlier, Jeremy Saulnier.
Yeah.
The way his violence is like swift
Realistic.
and brutal. Like, it's not like, I'm going to punch you in the face a bunch of times, you're not going to fall down. And it's like, I'm going to hit you, and here's your awkward breaking finger or bone sticking out of your leg, or that kind of thing. So
that was probably the most action you get in this movie, though.
Yeah. So he interrogates the man who says he's just looking for a place for his family to go, and at the urge of his wife, the husband decides to take a chance and try to help the family by taking him in. But who can they trust? Like you said, extremely slow burn. Not much happens, but it is well written, well acted, and well directed. The score makes scenes with just dialogue intense at something. The best part about this movie, I think, other than Joel Edgerton, was the score.
Yeah, it's a very good score.
Yeah. Building a mood. When we talk about a score, not just this music's cool, but there's a mood building. It's not music playing while a movie's playing. It's just with the scene,
And a lot of it was like it didn't sound like it was actual musical instruments. It sounded like it was like things they cobbled together and then were like banging on it. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Like junk drums.
Yeah.
It sounded, and there wasn't a lot of a lot of movies rely on like string swells and stuff to build tension, but this was more like a rhythmic tension.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a lot more to say about this, but I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to stop. Actually, first let's give our rating. So if people want to see it, and then let's talk more about it, because I don't want to spoil it for someone that is looking forward to it. If you're a fan of Joel Edgerton, I was really looking forward to this, and when I grabbed it, I was like, So we're gonna give you 30 seconds after we say our number ratings to kind of pause and skip forward. Give us like a good 3 minutes or something. Maybe 5 minutes, and you can backtrack.
Yeah.
So IMDb gives it a 6.9. I'm going to give it a forgiving 6 out of 10 ursine erections.
I gave it 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10, so pretty close. It's not that it's badly made or anything like that. It's just too slow. Not enough happens.
And some of this, I have one other complaint that we'll go into when we're in spoiler time.
Okay, so you've had your warning. Now we are full spoiler. So if you've seen the movie, you can listen to this upcoming part. So, what the fuck? I do not understand what came at night.
Nothing came at night.
That's the point. Nothing ever fucking came at night. This movie is like Walking Dead without the zombies, where everyone's like survivalists and will steal from each other to live.
Yeah.
It could be implied that there is zombies.
Yeah.
Because it's a sickness.
Yeah.
It's like a plague. It's like cabin fever.
Right.
But why do they got to shoot the guy? Just because they would catch the sickness?
Right.
They could let him walk off and get away from them.
And what does coming at night have to do with it?
And
This movie was The Village. Like, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, but without even the fucking stupid-ass twist.
Yeah. Yeah, there is no twist. There's no payoff. The movie just kind of ends.
Yeah, it felt like they ran out of ideas.
At a point, when I first started watching it, I really liked it. About the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is really good. This is going to be a good movie, When they first meet and he shoots the guys and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
It kind of was reminding me of The Road. Remember The Road?
Yeah.
You see that? It was pretty fucking awesome, right?
Road was a great movie.
I'm a fan of slow burn, like we were talking about True Detective. That's great. The first 30 minutes is entertained, but the second act is fucking dull.
Yeah.
Even there's something at the end that's kind of cool, but with the brutality at the end, but it's not even a payoff, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
When the credits hit, I audibly went, oh.
Yeah, I went like, huh?
What the fuck? Like the movie just stopped, and there's no real, like you said.
Oh, there's something in the wood. There's someone out there. No, there's nothing.
There was nothing. There's nothing out there.
Maybe he's lying. Maybe he's not. No, we never even figured out if he was lying.
I like movies about paranoia when people can't trust and they're freaking out and stuff like that. But don't call the movie "It Comes at Night." That's such a fucking misleading title.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew Stephen King's It was going to come out, and they wanted that to be right underneath the IMDb page when people search "It Comes at Night."
Yeah.
And then they click on it and they go, "Oh, I'm going to watch that."
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of is they put "It" in the title at the first because if our podcast was named A Postmortem, then it would come up right on the top of the feed.
Real monsters.
Yeah. So it's like if that's all I can think of that they're going. I don't know if it was a book. I mean, he wrote and directed it, so I don't think he had a book.
Maybe like the writer conceived it as a monster movie initially, and then made it, and the monster.
It was written and directed by Trey Schultz. So he wrote. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, but then he forgot to change the title.
I think it would be really cool if it happened. And what could have kind of saved it a little bit. He kills the other family.
Yeah,
it's the end. They've never shown any kind of zombie.
Yeah,
anything like that.
Yeah,
he buries them, and then. Right as it's getting to dust, you just kind of zoom in on the grave, and the hand fucking creeps out.
Yeah,
and claws, and then it's like, oh, I understand.
Right,
and then that's the credits.
There is
if they put that one little scene,
yeah.
Oh, it's a zombie movie that never showed a zombie till it was over. That's kind of clever. It's never been done that I know of. That's pretty cool. Maybe that was his intention to say the zombies are plagued, whatever. Like maybe it was zombies, but they never address it. Mm-hmm. I think if they just addressed it for a split second like that at the end of the movie, and then the credits happen, that would have been a 10 times better ending. Yeah. That's my biggest complaint.
Absolutely.
It was just there's no sense of resolution. I mean, those people are dead, but everyone's broken emotionally, and then maybe that's what he was going for. But
really fucking nihilistic at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's if you're gonna call a movie "It Comes at Night," something has to come at night. Nothing came at night. Okay. Fucking call it something else.
Yeah. Shit comes at night. That's whatever you title it.
Call it Nothing Fucking Happens for 30 minutes.
He kills that family, goes to the fucking outhouse, takes a shit, and then the credits roll.
End of the movie, right there.
Shit comes at night.
And then as he's leaving, the shit monster comes out of the outhouse and grabs him.
The same hand comes out of the fucking... That would have been better, but yeah, so... That's all we got to say about It Comes at Night. Give it a chance. If you like Joel Edgerton as much as I do, it's worth a watch. I don't want to say that it's horrible. You didn't hear the terrible movie sound effect.
Yeah.
I mean, we're saying 5 and 6. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just, it was a total letdown and disappointment. I expected so much more out of it in the first 20 minutes. So, a movie that we watched that I did not expect a lot out of, but I still feel almost the same as It Comes at Night is A Dark Song. That was our second movie we watched for At the Movies. It's a 2016 Irish supernatural horror movie written and directed by Liam Garvin. So, you wanted me to read the little plot thing before we get going on this one? Still grieving and refusing to come to terms with the death of her little boy 3 years ago, young mother Sophia Howard is prepared to do whatever it takes, even if this requires to subject herself to the labor of performing a prolonged and elaborate hermetic ritual. It's like some fucking Aleister Crowley shit.
Yeah.
It's like the Aubrey Mellon where they get if you watch the Aleister Crowley documentary, they took heavily from that with the not eating and staying in the circle and not leaving it. And
there's a lot
subjecting
of that.
yourself, like you're torturing yourself to get to talk to fucking angels and demons, I guess, in her case.
Also a lot of goetic sorcery in it. Other movies have used the Goetia to as a plot device. This was the first authentically goetic movie I've ever seen.
Wow. Well, that's actually a good compliment, right?
Yeah.
There were good things about this movie. It was not great, but... So she goes to a remote cabin in North Wales and meets Joseph Solomon, a ceremonial mage that will guide her through the intricate preparations that, among other things, demand chastity to be observed and alcohol to be refused. Soon, determined to proceed regardless of the consequences, she seals herself in the house and sets to do the rituals.
Yeah.
But whose motives are what, and who can trust who, basically.
Yeah.
Similar to the other one, but two people. Extremely limited storytelling.
Yeah.
There's basically two actors in this movie.
There were a couple other characters that came and went in the beginning just to kind of set things up.
To set up what's going to happen, So, Sophia was kind of sympathetic, but a little bit cold. I should have felt a lot worse for a grieving mother. Mm-hmm. But maybe it was just, she had the big resting bitch face. She really did, you know? And she just kind of came off a little bit unlikable. The character of Joseph is a fucking douche.
Fuck.
Here's a couple of things that he says to her. You will cook. You will clean. I'm taking the room with the bed.
You sleep on the floor.
You sleep on the floor. Give me my fucking money.
Yeah.
Because he's getting paid to do this.
Yeah, she said initially that she's doing it for love and he leaves.
Yeah. Until it's the kid.
Yeah.
And the damn Dahmer fucking glasses ginger stole Akeem, the African Dream's gear.
He did.
For his ritual. In some ridiculous golden do-rag thing on his head.
Well, that's part of hermetic ritual. That's like actually a thing.
Is the Akeem suit part of that too?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
because they steal a lot of their imagery from Egypt.
Uh-huh.
So that's actually part of the ritual. The one thing that I liked about him is they didn't depict him as some like spooky, shadowy occult sorcerer. He was like a dude in fucking sweats.
He was like Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
You know?
Like a not funny Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like Zach Galifianakis.
He was the best part of the movie. He comes off like an unlikable douche, but you go through the movie wondering...
Yes and no. Here's the thing about him. Like, they kind of build him up as like he's a not likable douche, but like he's got some sort of motivation going on. And then halfway through the movie, he sexually assaults her.
Yeah. Premature ejaculation forced strip for sex magic.
Yeah. But then he even says that wasn't part of the ritual.
Yeah, and that's when he's super unlikable.
Yeah.
He basically like makes her get naked like he's gonna fuck her, makes her bend over, and then just beats off in his pants for about 4 seconds and comes his pants
and cries
about it.
And then
like he gets embarrassed about it, like he wanted to or something. He couldn't
and
do
then later in the movie, they tried to redeem him, where he's talking about like he just wants to see his dead sister one last time. But who the fuck cares? You just sexually assaulted someone.
Yeah, not just that, but also with. He gets hurt, he gets injured in this movie, and then it starts to build him as a sympathetic character again, which I didn't care for, because if he's going to make her get naked and against her will and beat off in his pants and start crying, like, you can't go back to me liking
there's no coming back. Like, if they wanted to have that psychosexual element in the movie, they easily could have had sex be part of the ritual, but they don't want to do it, but they have to do it anyway. And boom, you're saved.
After he beats off to completion, he makes her shave his back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good cinematography, though.
Great cinematography.
Especially, I would say the most praise for the cinematography is the open. This
Yeah.
beautiful long shot of the car on the highway with the sky.
Yeah, it looks like a painting.
Yeah,
but it's
looks,
moving.
Yeah, it's really, really well done.
And, you know, the way they shot the house looked great, and a lot of the ritual stuff looked very authentic. You know, like, it actually feels like there was an occult ritual happening in the entirety of the house.
Yeah.
You know, how they had each room designated, like, representing various aspects of the ritual, and then, you know, the way they draw out the circles, like, the writer of this movie, or the director, or whoever, the set dresser, someone did their fucking research.
Yeah, we always say, like, when you depict the occult and mental illness, those are, like, our two biggest gripes on the show, is that when we watch these movies that depict a mental illness and they don't even know what that mental illness actually is like, or what it does to people, just like Grandma's got dementia, she's like,
and occultism is the same. You know, if you want to have generic occultism, if you don't know what's going on, there are ways you can flub that. But when you specifically say, this is a Gnostic ritual, this is a Hermetic ritual, this is a Goetic ritual, you need to do your fucking homework.
On what
there are
that
people
is.
like us who know this
you
shit.
Make a cult movie with just making up your own cult, like The Void. The Cult in the Void was amazing.
Yeah, or Baskin.
Baskin as well.
It's not rooted in anything.
It's just his own thing he made up. These people, and that makes it scarier to me, because, like, when you take it, like, okay, well, we know Aleister Crowley. I'm not scared of Aleister Crowley,
right?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it would be better if they would have, you know, made up their own thing. That is, like, they got the key from Baskin in his head and shit. You know?
Yeah. But for the purposes of this movie, it was well done.
It was. It really was,
because they did their homework.
Yes, then they did, and that's probably the best praise we can give it, other than the cinematography. And another thing that was really, really good was the score.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Like the twisty strings.
Yeah, that, and then, like, this repetitive thud sound.
Yeah.
It's almost reminiscent of the part in Lords of Salem, where it's a big montage and that boom, boom.
Yeah.
And it's over and over.
Like Kenneth Anger does in Invocation of a Demon Brother, where it runs a constantly repeating sound. Yeah. Not to the point that it's grating, because Invocation of a Demon Brother was actually a ritual that Kenneth Anger was intoning. So there was something happening in there. There was a reason he was doing that. This movie gives that feel without it actually driving you all the way up the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, Kenneth Anger, I that actually, you know, I like the Kenneth Anger thing, but that was a little excessive to me, too, that sound. Remember when we screened that at our live show, I was like, hey, everyone touch your no ringtone. So, yeah. I'd say that it's a well-made film, but it's slow-moving in the first act, though from the premature ejaculation on, I was totally in until the last 25 minutes, and then it lost me again.
Yeah, the ending is terrible.
Yeah, the ending is terrible, and it just, like, it's... I'll explain with my fucking rating system. Before we get to that, though, what the fuck is with the Trojan dude?
They're supposed to be the angel that she summoned?
Yes, that was the worst fucking horrible CGI thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, they like took a dude and like blew him up.
A giant guy, like basically like a giant wearing Trojan armor was an angel.
Kneeling on the ground.
Kneeling on the ground with the stupid fucking eyes.
Looking smug.
And it was fucking total CGI. It looked like fucking shit.
After everything else they did in this movie.
Yeah, that was no CGI or anything like that before. That was all practical. Yeah. Until that happened, and then I was just like...
They should have just not shown it. They could have just had light, and she looks into it. But here's the thing, like, ultimately this movie was about, like, forgiveness and redemption, but there was no build-up to the forgiveness and redemption. It was like she was angry, she was resting bitch face. She specifically says, forgiveness is not something that I do. Over and over and over again, there was nothing building up to her becoming a forgiving person, yet in the end, she sees this fucking wonky-looking Trojan dude and is like, oh, forgiveness.
Yeah, and like crying blood almost. Like it almost looked like there's religious symbolism that doesn't make sense in this movie too, because like there's occults and stuff, but then like the way the blood was running down her face, it almost looked like tears of blood.
Yeah.
And she had her arms outstretched like now she's this religion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That really kind of just it was stupid, you know?
Yeah, they shoehorned it in too much. There was no build to it.
Yeah.
There's a way that they could have built to that and had it make more sense, but they just didn't bother.
Yeah.
It's like he had A and he had D, but wasn't quite sure what to do with B and C.
Yeah. So IMDb gives this one a 6.1. I would say that this is half of a good movie. Mm-hmm. It's half of a good movie. There's just as much bad as there is good.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm going to give it 5.0 or Sign Directions.
Me too.
5 also?
Yeah.
Wow. So you double 5s for you this week. A 6 and a 5 for me.
Yeah.
So
I think this is the first time. We don't really have one that's better than the other.
Yeah, and when we do at the movies, it's not like good and bad where we watch whatever and we report. Normally there's something we're excited for that we've been talking about, like It Comes at Night.
Yeah.
that's the strength, the strength that holds it together. But It Comes at Night just didn't have it to do it.
We got 2 movies that are half good movies and half bad movies. So if we put them together, we watched 1 good movie.
Well, but the way I look at it is, okay, if it's a 5 and a 5, and you divide it, it becomes even shittier. You know what I mean? Because it's more time I spent to watch mediocrity.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, I want to watch some good shit.
Yeah.
I want to watch some either funny, ridiculous shit like The Taint.
Yeah.
People blowing each other's dicks off and stuff. Or I want to watch The Void or something like that, a Serbian film. Like, you know what I mean? Something that's real good.
Something that jumps out and grabs you,
Yep. So that's it for At the Movies. We will be back with our top 5 sexiest horror movie characters. Yeah, we're going sexy time. Sexy times in the B word. You get your femskins ready?
All right.
Get your Elvira wheel.
It's too fucking hot to wear a femskin right now.
I'm going to change into my bear costume. And we'll be back after this.
Hey guys, we might be switching hosting services soon.
They took our host!
They took our fucking host.
Charlize Theron took our host!
So, only time will tell. But this little commercial here, SoundCloud might be going bankrupt. If it is, we're going to be switching over to a little service called Libsyn. So if we disappear from your feeds, you know, if we're coming to you every week, we want to keep all of our subscribers. When we switch over, make sure you're following us on our website, postmortemshow.com, Facebook, everything like that. So if you don't get an episode one day soon in your feed, it's not that we're late. It's not that we're unreliable, because we're reliable.
Yeah, we're like 70-something episodes deep.
77. We're like clockwork.
Yeah.
We love to be a part of your Wednesday.
Yeah, we are your Wednesday. We are your Wednesday.
With our pigtails and everything. But yeah, make sure you follow us on Facebook. And if you can't find the new feed when it does happen, go ahead and send us an email, postmortemshow@gmail.com.
Yeah, we'll tell you where to go. And you can always see us on YouTube.
Some people do.
Some people do.
But
there's this one chick that listens to us on YouTube.
There's a couple.
Yeah.
But, yeah. We'll be coming out now with our new feed. Hope you guys cross over to the dark territory.
Post-mortem style.
And we're back! With the top 5 sexiest characters in horror. The sexiest characters in all of horror. When I was a kid, we went down to JM Park, which is like a block from my house, and we called it 1-900 We Fuck You.
Yeah. I used to call that number 2.
You did?
Yeah.
All right.
You've reached 1-900 We Duck You. They don't even say fuck on it.
Yeah, you have to pay if you want to hear the true dirty talk.
Yeah, I actually, when I would get bored, I would just like pick up the phone and dial random like 1-900 numbers that I'd make up and see if there was something. Like the new version of that is like going on the internet and being like, I wonder what this website is. But
I actually had a client the other day that when they called for work-related thing, it was a sex line. It was not the right number, but it dialed. My secretary's like, put it on speakerphone, like, what the hell? So, we're going to get into our top 5 sexiest, and you better believe I have a number 0.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, so I guess I'll start us off this week with my number 5. A non-conventional number 5. Not an awkward boner. It's not on that level where it's an awkward boner, because it's not awkward to me. It might be to you or some of our younger listeners when you think about the age difference, you know? But, it was a horror movie. People say it's not. Came up on my top 5 good guys. When we do our future top 5 kid-friendly horror movies, Pee-wee's Big Adventure has some horror elements.
Yeah, we've been over that before. It
And
definitely
that-
does.
And that Dottie, I've had a thing for a long time.
Yeah, Dottie's pretty up there, yeah.
But I wouldn't have put it on the list because it's not, there's so much horror that I wanted to go mainstream horror, but then she came back for Rob Zombie in The Devil's Rejects and played a prostitute named Candy.
That was her?
In her elder age, yeah.
Really?
And she was also the voice of Tommy from Rugrats. Tommy Pickles from Rugrats.
That makes it an awkward boner.
Yeah. Every time I watch Rugrats, this little boy in a diaper and a blue shirt, every time he talks, I just start feeling funny feelings in my pants. I don't know.
Yeah. Is that why you always make David wear the diaper or the blue shirt?
This is now the Victor Salva podcast. Yeah, so she came back as a prostitute with a lot of dirty talk with that same kind of like smoky voice.
Yeah.
In House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Devil's Rejects.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Ken,
go back
the
and
guy,
watch
yeah,
it.
with the chicken fucker guy.
Yeah.
Ken Free.
Yeah, it's the second one, yeah.
It's his whorehouse, and she's the blonde one.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that was Dottie.
It's Dottie, and it's also Tommy Pickles.
Wow.
So next time you're stroking your pickle, you remember that.
All right. My number 5 is the character of Keisha, played by Essence Atkins in the movie A Haunted House. I've always thought that Essence Atkins was an attractive actress. She's done some other comedy
Is that
stuff.
like the Scary Movie kind of movie that had the Wayans brothers
with
and stuff?
with Marlon Wayans?
I didn't watch it.
It's funny. It's actually way funnier than like any of the Scary Movie sequels. Maybe other than Part 2. Part 2 is pretty.
Number
funny.
1, I think, is the best.
Yeah,
though,
yeah.
So.
It's better than Scary Movie 3 and beyond. It has some good jokes in it.
And you love you some dark meat.
I do. And Essence Atkins is an attractive actress.
Antoine, there's still a chance.
There's still a chance. But the thing that kind of seals her as someone that can be sexy on my list is in the movie she gets demonically possessed. And she still manages to be attractive. Like,
that's cool.
Like it's still like, oh, she might bite my dick off, but it might be worth it.
Yeah. Hey. You gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Essence Atkins, I'll have to Google her. If she's on your top 5, I mean, she must be pretty smoking hot. And I like the dark meat as well.
There's still a chance.
I've been known to dip my cone in some chocolate from time to time.
Chocolate covered pickle.
My number 4 is from a movie that I reviewed probably 20 shows back or something like that. Maybe even closer. And I don't know if you've watched it yet, but it's a newer movie from 2015 called Sunchoke. Remember I talked to you about that?
Yeah, I
There's
haven't
Barbara
seen it yet.
Crampton in it and everything, and it's really fucking good, and it's very brutal. It reminds me a lot of Maps to the Stars. Did you watch that either?
Yeah, I saw that.
It reminds me a lot of that, like the way it is and stuff like that. But there's this actress in there named Sarah Marcool Lane that plays Savannah and delivers the best nude scene in probably the last 10, 15 years.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
With the just perfect,
Wow.
smoking hot, delivering the full...
Do you see her butthole?
The full frontal, no butthole. There's no like cheek spread, but you see everything, and you see there's a part where she's riding some dude that, and another character's looking out a window watching it, to where I don't know if it was simulated or not, but it is.
It looks pretty authentic.
It looked pretty authentic with what you can see going on down there. So yeah, check out Sunchoke because it's a good movie, not just because of Sarah Marcool Lane, but she does sweeten the pot a little bit.
Yeah.
So
It's like a cherry on top of a sundae.
You win either way.
Cool. My number 4 is a 3-way tie from the same movie.
Oh, from the same movie.
From the same movie.
All right.
3-way tie from the same movie. Nancy Faruza Bonnie, Nev Campbell, and Rochelle Rachel True from The Craft.
I gotta go with that Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
Because back when she was a little chubbier, she was right there in my wheelhouse in that movie.
I don't know which of them I
Those
like.
scars come off, and so do the panties.
Because they all have certain qualities about them that make them appealing.
Oh, definitely.
And,
Faruza Balk has way too many teeth in her mouth.
She's what you call sneaky hot.
She's like dirty hot.
Yeah.
Like she's hot in a way that like you think that she probably would just rip your dick off with her pussy because she is that well experienced.
Right.
She's been through
the ringer a few times.
Yes, she has.
Yeah.
And like I said, I prefer. I'm not much of a judge of character. As far as the women go. They gotta be pretty. But if you talk about teeth, it's either if there's only a couple teeth, that's probably pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
But if there's over 400 teeth in rows like a fucking shark, like Faruza Balk, it just is scary. Like I can't imagine her giving me a blowjob. I'd just be like, don't.
Just putting your dick in the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, it kind of is like if you the old school pencil sharpeners that the teacher had that was mounted to the wall. Like I feel like I would be running into one of those. Like erection first,
like the meatball eater and in the mouth of madness.
yeah, exactly. It's too risky for me. Okay, I also have a tie. My number 3 is a tie.
You haven't done your number 4 yet, have you? Yeah, you did.
Yes,
Never
I did.
mind.
My number 3 is a tie between 2 Latin American actresses.
Okay.
Santanico Pandemonium, played by Salma Hayek, and Perdita Durango.
I knew Perdita Durango would make your list, which is why I put her in my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And Satanico Pandemonium.
Yeah.
But,
both of them. I have a thing for the Mexican girls as well.
Yeah.
So we do not
You
discriminate.
kind of just like vagina.
That's very true. That's very true. I have 4 kids.
Yeah.
Well, 2 are biological, so that doesn't really hold.
Right.
That argument isn't really hold.
Right.
I've been not gay at least twice, confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed.
So, yeah, Perdita Durango with the dirty talk, and Rosie Perez in that year, I put my money on her probably for, like, the time you would have if you had Rosie Perez versus Salma Hayek. Like, if you actually got to go there.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, come with me. Come with me if you want to live. That's not the right accent.
Live with me if you want to come.
That's the name of that. That's the name of this episode. Yeah, but and Salma Hayek.
Rosie Perez's head on Arnold Schwarzenegger's body.
Yeah, Rosie Perez on that on in that movie is probably like the dirty, sexy, like Fruza Balk, like that. And you can't turn down Salma Hayek in that dance, the snake and stuff like that. That's probably like the most sexy part of any horror movie, I would say, is her little dance and other shit she does. So.
She definitely is conveying some sort of very sexual energy there.
Yeah, she's like a fucking animal in heat.
Yeah.
Like a bear, kind of. She's kind of like a bear. I'm talking about the bear again.
All right. So, I'm going to show my open-mindedness on this list.
Okay.
My number 3 is a man.
Wow.
Patrick Bateman. Christian Bale, American Psycho.
I'll have to be honest with you. You didn't make my list, but I'll take him off my honorable mentions off of Awkward Boners. Because like next week with the Awkward Boners, that scene where he's flexing in the window.
Looking at himself.
Yeah.
It's
like, I don't want to fuck him. I want to be him.
Yeah. You don't want to be that man. Women want him and men want to be him.
So I want to be inside of him, but in other ways.
Right.
Just like my mind, his body, as I do Hulk Hogan poses in the mirror as I'm banging 2 prostitutes and shoving coat hangers.
I am a real American Psycho. So this list was hard for me to put together on some levels because, like, I'm not the kind of person that, like, has celebrity crushes except for my Zero.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, it sounds like we're being, like, objectifying to women in this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's something we should have talked about before, at the beginning of the episode and before we got into the top 5, is that in no way, you know, we're just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
And we're just talking about people who are good looking and convey sexual energy. Yeah. But here's the thing.
It's not the top 5 women that you'd want to sexually assault.
Right,
it's
right.
The top 5 sexiest
It's the top 5 women who should be paid less for their jobs because they have vaginas. But...
Well,
that's our next list.
Yeah, that's our next list. Fuck the Awkward Boners. We'll do that for bad actresses.
It's hard for me to have a celebrity crush because, like, you look at these people and they're physically attractive, but they might be, like, pieces of shit, you know, or stupid or annoying.
They're probably Scientologists.
So, like,
Rosie Perez has been known to be a Scientologist.
Yeah.
No.
So
that's confirmed. It's unsubstantiated.
It's untrue, damn it! So, you know, I can look at this person and be like, okay, they're physically attractive, let me have a conversation with them. Like, that's how I work in the real world.
Would you be more likely to join the cult if she handed you the pamphlet?
It's a good question. That's how they work. That's how they get you, man.
Yeah.
That's how they get you. They fucking get you with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, some old gray-haired man that looked like Malcolm McDowell gave me a pamphlet, and he gave one to my wife, and she started talking to her, and I'm like, Aubrey, let's go. And she's already given him a handjob in the parking lot.
She's already
like, God damn it! Yeah. These Scientologists have done it again!
Damn you, Scientologists! That's my 3rd significant other to give you handjobs. But, yeah, Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale, I mean, that is a character that exuded sexual energy. And it was like a dark sexual energy. And, again, like, this is someone who, if you have sex with them, they're going to fuck you up. Yep. And he does. You know, and American Psycho was different tonally from the book and the movie because, you know, in the book it's much more brutal and in the movie it's much more superficial, but to demonstrate the superficiality of the era.
Yeah. The most awkward part of that movie, you know, I love awkward.
Yeah.
You know, that's my favorite thing is awkwardness in movies, you know. Like movies like Happiness, you know. Just everything's super fucking awkward.
Yeah.
That's my favorite genre. Even more than Blood and Guts, I like awkward. And when he fucking goes to strangle that dude, Lewis, with the bow tie in the bathroom, and he has his hands on the back of his neck, and he slightly caresses his hand and said, I've been waiting for you to do this, but why here? Yeah. And the look on Christian Bale's face, is he's so awkward. He starts sweating. He's like, I have to return some videotapes. All right, so is that number 2 now?
Yeah, we're
number 2. Only have 2 more Sexy ladies, for here are the top 5 sexiest. I'm going to go with someone that this scene, when the internet came out, I don't know how many times I watched this scene in Embrace of the Vampire.
It's a great movie.
With Alyssa Milano.
Yeah.
Topless, making out with the female vampire.
Yeah.
And just the way she was looking, like her eyes.
Yeah.
And she's got some nice, like, short, round boobs.
Yeah.
I like the short round.
And she hangs out with Tony Danza.
You can't beat it if she's, hanging out with Tony Danza.
Yeah.
Who's the boss? That's what I tell her every time.
Yeah.
Who's the boss? With every thrust.
That's right.
Now
Angela!
Okay, now
Angela! Mona!
Now we're going into the objectifying territory, so kind of back out. And the ball's in your court.
Alyssa Milano was like everyone's teen crush too, like in the '80s and like early '90s. So that was like when Showgirls came out, and like Elizabeth Berkley finally took her clothes off.
Yeah,
everyone who had a boner for her when they were 12,
yeah,
me included, was like, I'm paying money for this.
Yep.
My number 2, Eva, portrayed by Carolina Bang in the movie Witching and Bitching.
Oh yeah,
she was the young hot witch who was also obsessively crazy.
Yeah, it was like sexually crazy for the dude. Like,
yeah,
you like him? He's mine.
Yeah,
that kind of
just
shit.
Totally obsessive, just like total stalker. But like the actress who played her, she's a Spanish pop star. So she's a singer and a dancer, and obviously pop stars are going to be attractive people.
Yeah,
and the energy that she puts off is like the whole like obsessive crazy energy, but so animalistic.
Like that you're making bad decisions by taking her back to your place or whatever like that.
But you can't stop.
But it's like it's going to be worth it though.
Yeah.
You might die tomorrow, but
or your friends might die tomorrow, or you might have like 5,000 voicemails on your phone.
Yeah, yep. That's a good pull. I forgot all about her. I said I have a number 0 and a number 1. It's hard to say, but I don't think you'd expect this. But my number 0 and my number 1 are almost interchangeable. I'm gonna put my 0 up there, but my number 1 is pretty close. But Lily Munster.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Have you seen that picture with the bikini with the spiderwebs?
Yep. Yeah.
You can't beat that.
It's pretty good.
It's very hard to beat that.
It's pretty good.
Lily Munster, and a sweet mother.
Yeah.
Just
family woman.
A doll of a woman.
Yeah.
Family woman. Yeah. Married a Frankenstein. She's got a kind heart.
Yeah.
I have a chance.
There is. She actually lives here on the Central Coast.
Really?
Yeah.
My number 0 did for a while too.
Oh yeah? Okay.
There's a street named after her in Nebomo.
Interesting. I'll be interested to see where it is when we get there. My number 1, pretty easy standby, but she's got $1 million ass, and she will kill you. Baby Firefly.
Number 1.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
On my honorable mentions. Sherry Moon Zombie.
Rob Zombie knows how to pick them.
Yeah. And she's definitely got that same, like you're saying, your list is a bunch of women who are going to probably kill you.
Yeah.
You like the fucking Black Widow. You like the Black Widows. You like to mate and then
have my head eaten.
Rip your head off and eat it.
Yeah, praying mantis style.
Yeah.
I actually dress up like a praying mantis when I go out to pick up on girls.
All right.
That's why Michelle likes me. She's into bugs.
She's got a bug fetish.
Yeah. She's like, hey baby, you want to bug me tonight? That's what she says.
Bug her off. My number 0, I'd be surprised if it wasn't your number 0, but then again, maybe not. But you're looking at multiple standout cutouts of a woman named Elvira.
Yeah.
Who has a street in Nebomo named after her.
It's actually named after her?
Elvira Way, yep.
Really?
She used to live there for a while.
I did not know that. I knew the streets there. I've seen it, but I didn't know she lived there.
I used to be scratching on her fence like a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Trying to get in there. Like, I told you about the bear. I'm talking about the bear again. The way I felt an animalistic urge.
Yeah.
That's the way it was when I was trying to scale her fence and security was pulling me down. That's my Graceland.
Yeah.
That's my Graceland.
That's where it is.
Right between those luscious boobs, that's my Graceland.
And she's pushing 70 and she still looks good.
I know.
I don't know how she does
Even
it.
out of gimmick, she looks just as good.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't look like she's had a lot of plastic surgery. I mean, probably the boobs, but like Her face, she doesn't have that plastic surgery face.
No, she's just naturally beautiful.
Yeah.
And when she puts on all her goth stuff and she does her character and stuff like that, it just accentuates it.
Probably didn't do a lot of drinking and smoking, took care of herself.
You seen those Elvira Playboy photos?
Yep.
From before she was famous?
I have.
Red Bush.
Yeah.
They call her Red Bush. She's a ginger.
She is.
All that black hair and black clothes don't hide the fact that you're a ginger.
Yep, it's there somewhere.
I would like to slowly comb that luscious mound of red hair.
of 70s ginger bush.
Lotion those freckles underneath.
My number 0 is not Elvira.
Wow.
My number 0 is Morticia Addams.
All right. Well, I went Lily Munster and Elvira. You went Morticia Addams. She's on my honorable mentions. But yes,
Addams Family came out right when I started to notice women.
Yeah.
Yeah, 89, 90, 91 maybe. Like
91, I think.
Right. That movie came out right around the time I started to notice women, and Angelica Houston fucking caught my attention.
Yeah.
She... I
Even
think
the original.
Yeah. I think Angelica Houston was a better Morticia than the original.
I do too.
Because she had a certain, grace
and
to
you
her.
can't beat Raul Julia, too, as Gomez. You know? That whole movie, it's a national treasure.
It's a perfect movie. There are very few movies that I think are perfect.
You can watch it with your kids. You can watch it with your friends. Yep. It doesn't matter.
I showed it to Michelle's kids, and they're still scared of horror movies, and they still loved it.
Yeah.
Like, every time we go to a restaurant now, whenever Sabrina orders something, she'll not say please, and then Michelle will go, what do we say? And Sabrina will go, now.
The sequel is not as good. And I'd say the show is not as good as the movie. That first movie is better than the show and the sequel combined, I would say.
Yeah. I like the sequel. I think it goes first movie, show, Addams Family values. Mm-hmm. Fuck Addams Family 3.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
There was no Angelica Houston, there was no Raul Julia.
Was it Christina Ricci?
No, it wasn't. It was all... I think Grandma was the only actress that they brought back.
Well, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm not going there. Was it the same CGI hand?
I don't even remember.
For the thing?
Probably. Yeah, probably. But yeah, Morticia Addams always will have a place in my heart.
You know your budget's dropped off when you can't CGI the same hand because of copyright.
Yeah.
You have to CGI a different hand.
It's like a black dude's hand.
Yeah, it's got a glove on.
Missing a finger. It's like a carny's hand.
They can't even afford the full 5 fingers. Just meth nails. One long fingernail. Yeah. Coke nail.
Balances on it.
Well, honorable mentions. Yeah. I will rattle these off semi-fast because I do have quite a treasure trove of spank bank material under my honorable mentions. So I'm going to kind of fire them off kind of fast. So
fire off that spank bank.
Yeah, I'm going to fire off my spank bank pretty fast, and that's usually what happens to me. Don't judge me. I'm like the guy in that movie, the Dark Song.
Yeah, and then you cry.
I slowly rub my own balls. Don't even get to the shaft.
Yeah.
And then I'm just shooting all over my little panties. Okay, honorable mentions. Catherine Isabel from Ginger Snaps and American Mary. Definitely.
Yeah.
Very good looking. The best parts about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and the 3D versions are Jessica Biel and Alexander Daddario.
Yeah.
And in True Detective Season 1, that's the only thing that rivals, when I told you about Sunchoke and that nude scene in Sunchoke,
yeah,
that's the only thing that could rival is maybe Alexander Daddario from True Detective, Morticia Addams from TV and the movie. Love Witch, I give it a middle of the road review, kind of like our At the Movies this week, but the Love Witch, man, she was definitely smoking hot. Evelyn Price from House on Haunted Hill remake, Famke Janssen.
Yeah.
The Naked Space Vampire, Matilda May from Life Force.
Naked Space Vampire.
Yeah. The Skeleton Key. Kate Hudson in The Skeleton Key.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
I hate that movie so much.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I actually like it. Yeah. Why? Because you know more about the Bayou stuff? Is it
not,
but she's
it's just a fucking racist movie.
It is. What's his name? Caroline! Tiffany, a.k.a. Jennifer Tilly in the Chucky movies.
I've got her, too.
She's got to be there.
When she's doing that awkward striptease.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's funny, if you watch a DVD with a commentary, Jennifer Tilly's like, I have no idea how to dance, so I just tried to make it as ridiculous as possible.
Yeah, well, she did a good job. And you know what? I mean, I'd even fuck her in doll form.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just like the Elvira femme skin.
Yeah, I was going to say, I might have a Tiffany femme skin on my closet, too.
I'm moving awkwardly closer to Dom's leg right now.
He's touching me. He's touching me.
This is not supposed to be what sexy characters is all about. So, Olivia Wilde from Teresa's. Teresa's was a middle-of-the-road movie. It came out right after
Teresa's?
Teresa's.
Oh, Teresa's. I've never
see
seen
that?
that, no. I just thought it was
It's worth a
awesome
watch.
knockoff.
It is, but it's worth a watch. You know, there was that late or mid 2000s thing where they were doing all Americans in foreign countries vacation horror movies. You know, that's a good list too.
Yeah.
Vacation horror.
It's
movies.
out there, yeah.
That'd be a good one. We should do that one day. Jessica Alba, Idle Hands,
Oh, yeah.
with the little angel costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mo from The Convent, the goth girl in The Convent.
Okay.
Very good looking and the attitude to match.
Yeah.
So, Eliza Dushku from Wrong Turn. Yes.
Yeah.
PJ Souls, Halloween and Carrie.
Yeah.
That's one of the first times I remember seeing boobs. I think the first time I ever saw boobs in a movie was Under Siege.
Coming out of the cake. Yeah.
I saw that in the theater with my friend and his family. And none of his family spoke English except for him.
Yeah.
They're all Mexican immigrant family.
But boobs
We
are
went to Under
an
Siege.
international language.
It is. Me and his dad high-fived.
Nice.
Right after that. No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I made that part out.
Yeah.
For the show, you know, to try to be
Yeah,
funny.
right.
Kind of failed.
It was-
Kind of failed a little
Yeah.
bit. Anyways, I have...
Mick Garrett
bear with
doesn't
me,
tell
guys.
jokes like that.
Bear with me, guys. I have over 100 more honorable mentions. None of which are Mick Garrett's. No, it's not 100.
And he's reading them one-handed.
Rose McGowan in Scream and the Doom Generation.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go with a double tie honorable mention. 2 characters from Turn Washington Spies, my favorite show ever. Ksenia Solo in Pet, and Megan Warner in The Caretaker. And a movie I'm going to be reviewing next week or the week after. Whenever we get back to Good Movie, Bad Movie, I'll watch another movie that she was in. She's an Australian actress that was in The Caretaker. Mm-hmm. And she made a couple of low-budget horror movies before getting picked up by Turn Washington Spies.
Oh, cool.
And definitely has the goods. So, Katie Holmes in The Gift.
Yeah.
Before Scientology got all up in that pussy.
Yeah.
Scientology grabbed her right by the pussy. It wasn't Tom Cruise. It wasn't Donald Trump. It was Scientology. Scarlett Johansson, Under the Skin.
Never saw that.
Naked space vampire. She's just a naked space alien eating men and taking them to darkness.
Cool.
Basically. Putting them into, like, purgatory.
Huh.
Through sex.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Kate Beckinsale, Underworld.
Yeah.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, I Know What You Did Last Summer. What are you waiting for with those massive boobs spinning around in circles? Yeah. Fan of that part.
Going in 2 different directions.
Yeah. She had to be on my list. I maybe would have even put her up with my Perdita Durango and Santanico Pandemonium, but Jennifer Lopez in The Boy Next Door. Late in her career in a horror movie, shitty little thriller movie. The movie sucks, but she is not, unfortunately.
She was also in The Cell.
Oh yeah, so. But she's hotter in her older age. She's like a fine wine.
She gets better with age.
Yeah.
Isn't Salma Hayek like 50 now?
Yeah,
And
but
she
I
still
haven't seen
looks
her
good?
much lately. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But Jennifer Lopez, I have. And
Well, there's this actress, Ming-Na Wen. She's Asian. I think she's Chinese. And she's
Ming-Na Wen is Asian?
Yeah, obviously. And she's pushing 60, and she still looks like she's in her like 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
So some women just take care of themselves.
You know what they say? Black don't crack and Asian don't... I don't really know what they say. I was trying to make it up.
Yeah.
Failed.
Asian's a hard word.
Asian don't bear.
There you go.
Denise Richards, Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
The Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Only in 5 minutes of the movie, which is an iconic character in 5 minutes.
It says
Pretty
something.
awesome, yeah. Julie from Return of the Living Dead 3. Barbara Crampton from Beyond and Reanimator. Baby Firefly, House of a Thousand Corpses, and Devil's Rejects. And my last honorable mention, Lilith from Bordello of Blood, played by Angie Everhart.
Yeah.
Vampire hookers.
Yep. There's a
She
spot
gives
for
head
them.
so good that her tongue travels in people's bodies and sticks their heart out of their chest.
That's talented.
She's getting right up in that urethra.
all up in,
So.
straight down.
Yeah.
My list is nowhere near as long as yours, and it was shortened. It was shortened by some that you mentioned, but I'm gonna mention them anyway. Tiffany, Jennifer Tilly, Bride of Chucky, Celine,
yeah.
Kate Beckinsale, Underworld, Alice, Mila Jovovich, Resident Evil,
Yeah.
hot and kicks ass.
I don't... You know, there's another thing like Victor Salva. The movie Chaplin with fucking Iron Man, and she shows like partial boob and she was like fucking like 13 years old or something. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's cool at all. Yeah. And so fuck that, and that's why I've never looked at her like a sexual object.
Oh, I've never seen Chaplin.
You know? So. I don't look at any of these women as a sexual object. Yeah. I don't look at her like a sexual object, but the rest of these you can buy at the corner store. You pay the guy the right price and take you to the back of the cooler and
give you a Mila Jovovich
femskin.
Angela Aberdeen, Amira LeVay, regurgitated sacrifice.
Yeah, she is probably the most dangerous, sexy girl like the other ones you had.
But another actress that can really like convey sexuality.
And
like,
you see her covered in puking and all this shit like that, and she's still kind of hot.
She's still attractive, yeah. And like the scene of regurgitated sacrifice. I think it's regurgitated sacrifice. It might be Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, where she's dancing, and she's just stripping.
Yeah,
and she's just like she's all bruised up, and like obviously like
you want to fuck her, and then you want to fix her.
Yeah.
Take her from that bad situation of that horrible man, Hank Skinny.
Yeah. And she probably actually would have ended up on my list if we haven't been like all over Lucifer Valentine's nuts every show.
Also, check her out on Pornhub, Amira LeVay.
Yeah, she's there. Annie Brackett, played by Danielle Harris in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Oh, of course, yeah.
She grew into herself.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm going to have to amend next week's list because I had her on my honorable mentions for awkward boners because I don't like to see children and know them as children and then they grow up and they're hot women. Right. Even though I was a child too when I first watched the
you were her age, so you grew with her.
But in my mind she's still that little girl
in the clown suit,
running away from Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So I would do nothing but save her.
Nothing but save her.
Yes, that's what I would do.
All right.
I would save her. I would help her from Michael Myers.
Yeah. Buy her some ice cream.
Yeah.
Then wait for her to get older. Like there in the fucking early days of the internet when it was still the wild frontier, there was this website that basically had a countdown to when the Olsen twins turned 18. Like that was the whole website was the Olsen twins are going to turn 18, and there was a countdown counting it down. That's fucking sick. That's basically you saying like these girls are 16 and I want to have sex with them right
We're
now.
going like social commentary with our sexiest movie scenes.
That's the way it should be if we're going to do something like this.
I guess it's got to be a balance. We're like that. I'm going to dress up in my fucking Demolition Axe and Smash / Leather Daddy ring thing.
Yeah, with a bear mask.
With a fucking blindfold and hold the scales of justice. Perverted. Standing up for those that are victimized by Victor DeSalva and the like.
Right.
It's hard. I'm a very horny, perverted person. Literally, what I mean by it's hard is I have an erection right now.
Right now.
As we're reading this list.
Boom.
and you said Olsen twins, it kind of petered a little bit, but it's back strong again.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Yep.
It's like a little baby arm. Pulsing blood.
Holding an apple. Again, Perdita Durango was in my honorable mentions. And my last one is Trash, played by Linnea Quigley, Return of the Living Dead. She may not have a vagina, but she is still an attractive woman.
The second thing you've ruined from my awkward boners. I had her on my awkward boners list.
Due to her lack of vagina?
Due to her lack of vagina and the fact that her nipples eat lipstick.
Right. That's... The thing that trips me out the more that I think about that scene in Return of the Living Dead, and I think about it quite often, is they could...
I think about it quite often,
they could
you know what I'm saying.
Very easily just had her wear a thong and be dancing around in a thong with her tits out.
Yeah.
But they went through all the trouble of creating a prosthetic lower body for her that did not have a vagina. Instead of just having her dance around in her underwear.
Yeah.
Someone put thought into that.
Yeah.
And decided that going...
They probably wrote it, and she said, no, I don't want to show my vagina, and they covered it, but they're like, well, she's supposed to be naked. That's what the script says.
Yeah. So they didn't creatively problem solve. They overthought it is what happened. That's what happens when you overthink things. You get Linnea Quigley with no vagina.
Yep.
And that's my list.
That's it. Linnea Quigley's vagina, or lack thereof, will end this episode.
As
we
it
went
should.
a little long. We're up there in the hour 20, hour 30 mark, which is great. So,
and you've maintained an erection this whole time, which means you need to see a doctor.
While you're listening, well, I have, of course, but what I was going to say to the listener, whether male or female, I hope the soothing sounds of our voice have enabled you to finish to completion at the hour 20, hour 30 minute mark of this episode.
Hope we hit your psychological G spot.
And I almost got eaten by a bear. It happened 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I chased it with a fucking nunchuck.
And an erection.
My last honorable mention, the bear. Because without that bear, I went into full animal mode, like I said.
Yeah.
Thrill of combat gave me a boner. I charged that bear down. The only thing I didn't tell you about the standoff is as we made eye contact, and I was sitting there, and he was sitting there, and I didn't know what was going to happen, and we were about to fight and stuff. We both started beating off, and we never.
The bear looked at you and winked.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I gotcha. So we both shared the remains of the green onion dip, lathered our hands, and proceeded to just beat off there.
Yeah.
Because if there's something, there's war in the world.
Yeah.
There's predators, there's prey, there's conflicts, countries, people bombing each other.
Racism.
If we can all just agree that we're all fans of masturbation, the world would be a better place.
Yeah. Let's not join hands. Because they're busy. But we can all come together as one.
That's true.
Heal the world, make it a better place.
So lock your left elbow, unless you're right-handed, with the person.
And Dutch rudder.
And
Dutch rudder to peace.
That's the and Dutch rudder each other to peace. And that's what this show's about. Horror movies. It's about my fucking dog. It's about Doug Jones. But really, when we all think at the end of the day, it's really about the thrill of beating off while making eye contact with a 500-pound black bear.
Yeah. End of the day.
Yes.
That's a strong message.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I'm printing it up.
Done.
The bumper sticker. That's my campaign motto. I'm going to run against Donald Trump. At the end of the day, if you can't beat off while making eye contact with a 500-pound black bear, then we need to build the wall.
There is no greater love than self-love. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of all.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week for our awkward boners.
If this wasn't enough. And as H.P. Lovecraft once said, as he made eye contact with the fucking bear, if it smells like fish,
throw the sucker back.
I know a bear that you all know, Yogi, Yogi. I know a bear that you all know, Yogi, Yogi Bear. Yogi, Yogi Bear, Yogi, Yogi Bear. I know a bear that you all know, Yogi, Yogi Bear. Yogi's got a girlfriend bear, Susie, Susie. Yogi's got a girlfriend bear, Susie, Susie Bear. Susie, Susie Bear, Susie, Susie Bear. Yogi's got a girlfriend bear, Susie, Susie Bear. Susie, she likes whips and chains, kinky, kinky. Susie, she likes whips and chains, she's a kinky bear. She's a kinky bear, she's a kinky bear. Susie, she likes whips and chains, she's a kinky bear. Susie shaved her pubic hair, grizzly, grizzly. Susie shaved her pubic hair, she's a grizzly bear. She's a grizzly bear, she's a grizzly bear. Susie shaved her pubic hair, she's a grizzly bear. Yogi's knob is long and green, cucumber, cucumber. Yogi's knob is long and green, he's a cucumber. He's a cucumber, he's a cucumber. Yogi's knob is long and green, he's a cucumber. Susie put it in her mouth, goblin, goblin. Susie put it in her mouth, she's a goblin bear. She's a goblin bear, she's a goblin bear. Susie put it in her mouth, she's a goblin bear. Yogi's got a cheesy knob, Cameron, Cameron. Yogi's got a cheesy knob, he's a camembert. He's a camembert, he's a camembert. Yogi's got a cheesy knob, he's a camembert. Boo-Boo turned up with his friends, gangbang, gangbang. Boo-Boo turned up with his friends, he's a gangbang bear. He's a gangbang bear, he's a gangbang bear. Boo-Boo turned up with his friends, he's a gangbang bear. Who's the bear right over there? Big tits, blonde hair. Who's the bear right over there? Big tits and blonde hair. It must be Danny Bear, it must be Danny Bear. 'Cause she's got big tits and blonde hair. It must be Danny Bear. Now I'm here all on my own, lonely, lonely. Now I'm here all on my own. I'm a lonely bear. What can I do all on my own? Lonely, lonely. What can I do all on my own? I'm a wanker bear. I'm a wanker bear. I'm a wanker bear. Every time I'm on my own, I'm a wanker bear. I'm a wanker bear, I'm a wanker bear. Every time I'm on my own, I'm a wanker bear.